different mid laners got turned into a jungler.
Even Gragas got turned into a jungler from
and he was so fun.
season 1, right?
Like
We're going.
all
He
these
was
mid
not
lane
fun to play against in season 1. Hold on.
All right, and double AD carries picked up for Team Liquid.
Yeah, I think this is really smart by Team Liquid because not only is Kalista just a tier 1 marksman who also gives you engage ability, by taking the Lucian, they give Jensen a pick that he has lane priority on, and it denies the ability to have Diana Lucian, which is a really strong mid-jungle combo because of the mixed damage profile. So I think it's a good response by Team Liquid.
And
Tahm
we
Kench.
probably know, knowing Golden Guardians and just knowing how the champ has changed, I'm going to make the assumption that that's a solo lane Tahm Kench. To reiterate, kind of iterate on the point that you made about TL picking double AD, I think not only does it deny some of the stuff that Golden Guardians would like to play with AP jungler like Diana, but it also means that they have some nice lane prio there, which is something that TL really enjoys playing with and is kind of been their signature.
They do like winning lane to win games.
Yep.
They do, yeah.
They're fans of that.
I mean, you mentioned solo lane, but I am curious whether or not that Tahm Kench would be flexed up to top lane for Licorice.
You know, I was
That's
just
a solo
thinking, yeah, I was like,
That's what, no, I know, I'm saying,
yeah.
but I'm saying, so we've seen it in the mid lane
I was
from
like,
them
don't-
already.
don't
so
let it
we
bot,
know that that
please.
can happen, but I'm wondering if they'd be willing to take it top lane, because I imagine Lucian has a pretty good time against Tahm Kench in the early levels.
I can see Licorice playing it.
I could see him playing it too. The thing is, I much prefer Licorice on carries personally. When we look at how they played last game, I think he played Sett top, and it just didn't really feel like it gave him as much agency to have as big of an impact in team fights, and they were more reliant on Stixxay carrying as a
Well, you
tank.
see, your misunderstanding here is thinking that Tahm Kench isn't a carry.
Yeah, I was
don't know
gonna
about
say,
you, but
come
I
on.
play versus Tahm Kench.
Carry Tahm
That-
Kench.
Oh my god, I've tried diving him so many times. He just ends up double killing me all the time.
He just lives for forever.
Okay,
Does
never
not
mind.
die.
Tahm Kench carry. He solves every problem you ever
Right.
have.
He does everything.
He's a ball of stats, as Azale calls him. That's it. Just a ball of stats who walks it.
Is he a mountain of stats? I
Maybe
think
he's
that
a
makes more
mountain.
sense.
Maybe he's
Yes,
more than
yes.
just a ball.
Yeah, we have been seeing people still play Tahm Kench support. I hope they're not doing that. Personally, I think Tahm Kench support is just not nearly as good because it devours something that you use every few minutes because it's now an ult. But we have seen people try to run Aphelios Tahm Kench. I think sort of the theory is that, okay, well, Tahm Kench, he's not as good defensively, but he's a little bit better offensively than he used to be. But I really do hope that this is a solo lane instead.
Sett.
I feel like if Golden Guardians does like a Ziggs Nautilus, their comp would be pretty sick here. I'd like if they did that. Or alternatively, it could do like a Draven and try to like hard smash 2v2 bot, but they don't know what the support is. So I'd prefer like a Ziggs here because it's hard to beat Kalista in lane, right? You negate all of her laning power by just picking Ziggs. But I don't think they're actually gonna do it, although it'd be
We've
good
also,
timing.
we've seen Golden Guardians pivot to the Ziggs before in comps like this. Previously, when they played this, they ended up, or when they played TK mid anyway, they ended up going with Sivir, which I thought was really interesting and something that we've seen Stixxay default to in both splits this year. So, but it looks like they're just gonna play Trist bot.
Well, that can't actually be a Wukong, can it?
I mean, it could be a Wukong top with a Trist bot and a Tahm Kench mid.
Right.
Yeah.
And Licorice has played Wukong.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah,
there we
exactly.
go.
I was
There we
gonna
go,
say,
it is.
Licorice
Okay.
played Wukong back in spring, so that doesn't necessarily surprise me.
Yeah.
It must counter Sett, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that lane matchup goes, but I like what this provides for the rest of the team. I mean, right now you have a very, all-in team from Golden Guardians. You have the ability for Wukong to just go for flanks and, ult the backline. You have Diana doing the same as well. You have Rell doing that. Even Trist can all-in if you really want to. I'm not really sure what the Tahm Kench is contributing team comp-wise, but I think in terms of just having a solo lane that is super stable and apparently can also be a carry no matter what, I think Golden Guardians basically has a team that plays in one direction and is really simple to execute.
I feel like they have triple losing lane. I don't know about you guys. I think they have 3 losing lanes
Yeah,
with a
they
stronger jungler, which is kind of weird. You usually want to like the other way around.
Especially against a team like TL that likes to play around their lane prio so much. In fact, I wish they would get, again, I've said this before, I wish they would get Armao involved a lot more when they do have these pushing lanes. So, I don't know if Gragas is necessarily the pick for that, but
And my money's on Golden Guardians to win, though. I don't think Team Liquid has enough magic damage. I'm a root for Golden Guardians. I think the team comp ultimately ends up better due to the damage spread. So that's my vote.
Okay.
But you, just correct me if I'm wrong, you said you think Golden Guardians has 3 losing lanes?
Yes.
yeah.
this again, I'm bringing back a conversation. The same question I asked yesterday following the Team Liquid draft is like, if we keep talking about how Team Liquid's path to victory is just outlaning their opponents, why do people keep drafting into strong lanes against Team Liquid?
Well, I think the thing with Team Liquid is they're gonna prioritize picking strong lanes themselves. So it's kind of like instead of worrying about beating them in lane, just worry about beating them where they're kind of weak, which is converting those lane advantages.
And also yesterday we just saw Dig be like, we have this Yasuo comp. We're gonna play around that and we're gonna get involved early and it ended up working, so.
Well, Golden Guardian's still in that hunt for playoffs. Team Liquid trying to make a case for a top seed. We're out to the casters, Freak and Azael, for the call.
Thank you, Dash. The Doug duo reporting in, and I cannot agree more with Kaizen and Emily. I think, yeah, Teal's going to win some lanes, and then they don't do anything with that lead, and so we've got a Wukong who is incredibly good anti-AD, AblazeOlive playing a tank in the mid lane.
Yeah.
You can stack armor, you're very good anti-AD, and Alphari plays 5 champions, and he last picks Gangplank in an all-AD comp.
Yeah, I mean, I think as soon as TL show double marksman early in the draft, you're already somewhat concerned about armor stackers over on the Golden Guardian side, and the fact that it is a last pick GP. Like, sure, he has some armor pen on the barrels, sure, he has some magic damage, but it's like AP Gragas and GP are never going to kill a 4,000 HP Tahm Kench who's armor stacking, right?
Yep.
And that is the issue. So I think there's a lot of pressure on TL as a result to really snowball the game. Even as far as the laning foes goes, I actually think, as long as Iconic is playing up towards the top side and covering Licorice and he can play aggressive, this is a really hard matchup for GP because Wukong can just aggressively constantly onto this guy and you win a lot of the extended trades. Of course, this level 1 is actually looking horrible for Licorice. I mean, it took 2 Qs before he even started trading him and then tried to walk through him to lane, but we will see. I mean, I do think this is a really tough matchup for GP.
Yeah. There is one upside, though. Obviously, grass trades are very good. Wukong, of course, stacks his passive for bonus health regen. But, yeah, Alphari is actually just clapping this guy now. He's almost at just a Q. Flash auto kills. Wow. Alphari grabs first blood. Outplays Licorice handily. And as, of course, you can see for our Spanish-speaking friends, if you want to check out the stream in Spanish, check out twitch.tv/FlyQuest. They're putting that one out there. But, yeah, Licorice is like, down TP.
I feel like Licorice outplayed himself. I'm going to be honest. That was actually horrible.
That's true.
GP is sitting there queuing you while you're on the blue buff leashing, and you're walking with him. His level 1 is like his strongest point in the early laning phase. And he's able to get so much free damage out. He's going to get the passive auto for move speed, so you can't actually consistently auto him to get the extended trade. His passive has to be on cooldown for this trade to actually work here for Licorice. So largely, he's just out of range here. This is what, 3, 4 Qs already, multiple grass procs. The end of the trade ends up going okay for Licorice, but the problem is you can't actually close the gap here consistently. You don't have W for level 2, you're losing the push, he's getting so low, and Alphari is obviously starting with the Corrupting Potion, so he just gets so heavy on health that it's like Q flash auto. You can't flash the auto once that's already going through, and now Licorice is going to get dove.
Well, Atsman in a 1 versus 3, but a teleport comes across, meaning Armao has to stop, throw the barrel back, and AblazeOlive is here to put out the fire, but it's already an incredibly huge difference in the top side.
Yeah, I do like that we're seeing Iconic actually cover mid-wave, so like this is going to get pushed out and reset, so you're not actually losing that much from the roam on the Golden Guardian side. Yes, AblazeOlive is down 4 CS individually, but some of that farm goes over to Iconic. Tahm Kench can base, still get back to lane. The lane will be pushing towards him.
Yep.
And it also forces Jensen to use his TP back if he doesn't want to lose minions on the bounce. So, it's a nice little play there from Iconic to cover. But we'll see if they can catch Core here.
Decent damage here. Goes for the flash stun, goes over the top of Tactical, meaning he walks away. Okay, he trades flashes, but the CC from Chime hit absolutely nothing but some grass.
Yeah, they do get the flash out at the very least, so it is that trade of flashes, as you say, but a bit of a messy start here from Golden Guardians. I mean, as a result, they're already down like 800 gold pretty much from the get-go here, which is very rough. And to talk about this Wukong matchup, I didn't really get to talk about it that much before we saw Licorice die. When you're playing these matchups into GP, you need to be able to threaten the all-in, and that's why it's so important that you do well in the early game. Because the way that you win the matchup is by playing aggressively, by Eing onto him constantly. And if you are in a losing position, as Licorice now is, with a Sheen buy versus nothing, you can't ever all in, and you just get stuck sitting back and just getting queued on cooldown to the point where you never have any chance to do anything in the lane. So it's already a disaster on the top side here, thanks to some good laning from Alphari, and TL trying to extend that with the threatened dives. He's going to get zoned off with no TP and lose everything here.
Right, keeps pushing forward. So now this is Gromp being taken away. Iconic's not allowed to jungle because he has to cover top in case of a dive. Killiger's recalls. Cool. Well, Armao was here to be there for the dive. My result of him rocking away is, okay, I can take his camp instead. The supports walk up. You know, we saw Jensen walk up for a minute, be like, okay, I'm here if you need me. All right, no. All right, well, Gromp taken away. Sorry, Iconic, you've gotten one camp since the first reset.
Yep. Gets very, very tough. Alphari gets another free base, refills the corrupting potions, picks up cloth as well as a ruby crystal. The wave is pushing towards him because he crashed it. So Licorice is going to be in an extended lane, down on XP, down on gold, and still vulnerable to being ganked because he used that flash early on. So definitely looking tough up on that top side, but
Chime
around here.
Wants to get it. There's a stun, there's a knockup, and Tactical Flashless should be an easy target. So good to see Golden Guardians play to the other side of the map. Chime happy to run past a tower to set it up. Wards be damned. And they're back on the board. The gold only 100 apart.
Yeah, that's big. They're trying to make some counterplay happen here on that bottom side. If CoreJJ is roaming to threaten top, you have got to punish bot or match the roams. And in this case, they are able to punish bot. They forced out the flash earlier here from Tactical. Now it is the repeat on the gank. You know, Iconic trying to wrap around. It's just Hex Flash over the wall. Yes, he's going to take some tower shots, but now you're behind Tactical. There's no real way for him out. So as long as you actually just hit the E, so it's the E stun into the dismount knock up there. Iconic comes through. Stixxay arrives. You get the exhaust. You get the kill. Nicely done.
And a good buffer by Stixxay gets the rocket jump out through the face breaker. That is guessing the timing. That is preemptively saying he's gonna stun now, gets the timing right, well done. But now the slows command Iconic. Dude, that is a big stun, and CoreJJ doesn't have Haymaker available, but it does not matter. He walks away, and now Chime is gonna be rended, taken asunder. Iconic's next up. Tactical does not quite get the kill, but we've got AblazeOlive, and he's hungry, and he takes down Armao. How about the front line though? Can he survive it long enough? Puts on the shield, but he's running out of health. Gangplank goal comes for even more health. Stixxay is on the way out. Tactical is one out from killing him. Nearly four. Jensen can't find the Q. Iconic gets it. He's going to be traded back, so there's no way he's got this one to happen. A bloody fight down here, but it's 3-2 for Team Liquid.
Had TL come out on top. That was so close. Stixxay had a little bit more in the tank. If he could have rocket jumped over the wall when AblazeOlive first came, maybe they could have made more happen. At the very least, though, Chime should be able to freeze this. TL can't actually afford to cancel their bases because they are so low on health. So I think in the extended play, it's actually going to be, you know, more even than it looks right now, because that is a fat wave that is going to deny this entire wave coming out from Golden Guardians. Then all that farm will get injected into Stixxay here. But really the problem is going to be, how do you get Licorice involved in the game? How do you get him to a point where he can really contribute? Because it looks like he may just be dying again.
Found by Armao, goes for the decoy, trying to get out of range, but Armeo's going to have Predator coming in. Second ult comes across, will not die. Licorice burns the ulti to stay alive. It's still a lot of cooldowns lost, but at least he's not dead.
That is something working for him. But again, it's allowing Alphari to really just play from such a comfortable position, and we know how good of a laner he is. Questions have been, you know, can he extend that advantage? Can he turn that into a victory for TL? Right now in mid lane, you know, we're seeing AblazeOlive actually hold up. So it's really the major advantage is just kind of up in top lane.
Yep, and we had snapshot it after he was forced to recall at a 10 CS difference. Sadly, as the gank comes in, that is a wave and a half lost. That is about 10 minions lost right there. That would have meant it stayed at +10. Now it's going to be more like +15. And like clockwork, Alphari, he's got a CS lead at 8 minutes in the teens, but now looking at Jensen, auto attack, Q for the slow, chompable if it's gonna be back from cooldown. Nice interrupt, CoreJJ stops the crash down. The explosive cast puts him into the wall, Chime trying to live, but he cannot. Excellent play from CoreJJ and Armao. The two of them put it together and they knock down Chime.
And they can actually stop this Herald from being taken now. We'll see if is he gonna be able to try to smite it. I mean, AblazeOlive is coming over, but there's extra members here
dead to
from
auto
TL.
smite. Weak point plus smite is instantly down on the Herald, so hit. Okay, and AblazeOlive hits the weak points. They grab that one, but now Licorice has to get his way out without an ulti. Iconic gonna be attacked. He will grab the Herald Eye, and he will get eaten for a shield. They'll keep trying, but AblazeOlive's not gonna save him. Dives down to the ocean. Kickback's not gonna do enough. Alphari claims the second kill, and that is 2 kills for Herald.
Yeah, TL getting a lot now. 3,000 gold lead extended there as everything going wrong for Golden Guardians around that mid lane play. And then trying to extend that fight, but they were down on members, so it was always going to be a pretty risky one. And honestly, it all kind of came down to the ultimate cooldown from AblazeOlive. He just didn't quite have it when they actually forced onto Jensen. It was up a second or two too late. And by the time that actually came off of cooldown, Jensen's out of range. The play has been turned around. You didn't get the initial kill, so Jensen is still contributing. And everything just kind of goes a little bit bad. You can see the cooldown here, on the initial play was almost up. And it gets very, very close when they actually go in here. He gets the 3 stacks. If he had the Devour right now, you just get that kill for free, and then the play can look very different. But CoreJJ over the wall, the beautiful face breaker there, interrupting the W from Chime. Armao comes in, they get the kill, and bad goes to worse because they didn't kill off Jensen. He can make the roam up towards Herald. TL is up members here as well. Yes, Tactical has not made the move, but they have 4 members already here. Stixxay gets pushed out of the fight. Golden Guardians at least do grab the Herald, but I mean, Licorice is so weak at this point, so it's kind of just Iconic and AblazeOlive in there by themselves, and Stixxay is getting zoned out by Alphari. Just really not much of a chance of actually winning out in that extended play.
Yeah, ultimately it was a 4v4. Yes, Tactical stayed bot lane. He got himself, I think, 2 plates for it, but with Chime dead, it was same numbers, and well done to Team Liquid. The gold lead 3.3 thousand. Only a fraction of that will be answered back by Rift Herald, as bot lane is still under fire, and now they grab the first dragon of the game. Team Liquid soaring right now in the early game, doing beautifully here as CoreJJ and Tactical clean this wave out. 4 plates gone, and they are untouched. They are unanswered, just crushing bottom lane turret.
Yeah, this tower is gone, and this game is honestly out of control at this point. No dragons having even been taken, but it's well over 3,000 gold, and we are here just at about 11 minutes, so this is getting pretty ridiculous. Golden Guardians will be able to get a tower back here eventually on the top side. It may require the next wave to come in, but I mean, the tier 2 tower bottom is already being taken by Kalista. They're going to lose camps on the bot side, and CoreJJ is actually wrapping around mid lane to threaten Licorice.
Yeah, Herald charged in middle, or in top was early. It does true damage, so you want to get it on the last 2 plates, not on the second and third, and then have them auto-attack against bonus armor. So a bit of time wasted by the Tristana, ultimately, and also everyone shared the gold. You had 3 people kind of sitting there together. Like, you have a Tahm Kench autoing a turret. That's not any damage, so it does feel like there's some wasted time here by Golden Guardians. Yeah. They finally show up in a mid, but hey, by the way, 5 plates taken in bot lane, 3 plates taken in mid. Congrats, you got top turret.
Yep, and they lost more than half the HP, or about half the HP on the bottom tier 2, right? So even worse, they lose jungle camps on the bottom side. So Golden Guardians really did not win out on that trade despite having the Herald, and things looking pretty rough for them at this point. It's going to take, honestly, I think a pretty long game for them to be able to come out, or some mistakes from TL. I do think they have a solid composition if they can get to the later stages of the game, so if they can kind of, make this gold lead stagnate a bit, if they can try to hold TL at this point, not allow it to extend. TL has not been stacking dragons with Kalista, so Soul is very far off, right? So as long as you're kind of not giving up that death blow, you still can be competitive in this game, but TL has done a great job of snowballing thus far, and we'll see if they can keep it going.
All right. 3.8K. Team Liquid have grown the lead since we last called that number up. We're going to keep doing it because it's going to keep getting bigger, and counting is fun. Mid lane pushed in. Whatever. It is, though. And just now, we get pretty normal lane assignments. Duo lanes go to the mid lane. Top laners are back up at the top side. But by the way, level 8 to 10, Alphari is gigantic. And it's not like he's about to level. Licorice is barely 8.1.
Yeah, I mean, and Licorice is down 2,000 gold in the individual matchup. You just never win this from now on. The early game was so catastrophic. Getting solo killed while spending your flash. Immediate redive set up by TL was great to extend the advantage. They come top again to threaten the redive to zone him off XP. Alphari is already a great laner. Licorice makes a mistake. And then TL, as a team, just blew that lane apart. Made it so Licorice had no shot to really come back into it. And now he's going to be kind of just this hole on the map that they've got to constantly try to plug up.
And Armao's got to set the map as well, right? Like, you've got a good-looking bot lane. Obviously, Tactical's left alone for the Herald play in bot lane, but we saw Gragas come down once or twice. But we actually had some fights turn around. There was the big 3-for-2 after the initial pick on a Tactical. But TL's been good at getting resources spent everywhere so that everyone's succeeding. I'll bet you every single player on that team is up gold against their counterpart. The only difference is maybe the Diana, because she has kills and some farm. And you can see, yeah, cool, Diana's at 500. As you said, top is 2K, mid is okay. Tahm Kench is doing good. He's got a kill, so I guess we'll trade that one back. But yeah, a richer support, a richer AD carry. This is going to be, Tahm Kench is good. Like, he actually does scale quite well, has good damage. He's kind of half tank, half juggernaut. He can be actually quite threatening, but until you're really on 2 items and you're really tanking the other marksman, it's not there yet.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it may never get there if you get too far behind the curve of the game. It can be difficult, you know, to actually stand up to the damage. Yes, I do think that armor stacking is going to be incredibly good here, but TL is largely quite ahead on gold. You could see Armor Pen coming through earlier. Wouldn't be shocked to see some early Last Whispers. But with the Null Magic Mantle coming through from Tactical, it may just be something like a Wit's End coming out from him, trying to survive, potentially who he sees to be the biggest threat as the Diana.
Yeah.
Tahm Kench also does a decent amount of magic damage, but now with Iceborne plus Bramble completed, I do think he's kind of ready to scrap. And like at that point, as funny as it seems, like Jensen actually does have to be kind of scared in the side lane. Like you can easily win that 1v1 if you overextend. You get hit by a W or a slow. He can kind of run you down.
Yeah, if you ever E in for damage and he hits the Tongue Lash, that's Gale Force down. And then even then, he might Q flash you, and then you're actually just dead from that play. So it is going to be something requiring respect. And we'll look for that one. Tactical and Alphari are indeed very rich. And we have Kumar under attack now. We'll go ahead and knock that one down without any real answers. And they'll knock down a turret with it. As you mentioned a while ago, bot lane tier 2 is down well below half. That is basically just a Herald charge to kill. That is a lot of money in pocket, 600 individual gold, whoever's close by.
This gold draft is so sad for Licorice. The only person he's more rich than is his own support.
Yep, CoreJJ, better frontliner right now as well. So I liked Wukong in the draft. I think, you know, you had to blind something that you saw an all-AD team, and you made a call based on Alphari's champion pool, and it should have been fine. But that level 1 was catastrophic. Jungle attention, very smart from TL.
Yeah.
Mid lane outer is going to drop. Team look good now, 2-1 on turrets.
I mean, draft is extremely important in League of Legends, but draft is one part of the whole, right? Execution is so much of that, and you know, when you're playing against an incredible laner, as we see going
Flash
in.
engage on the 2, trying to just wombo, and yes! Tactical just gets destroyed. Core puts up the punch, and now Alphari is here, but he's going to be enough. Has to flash away after teleporting, so shows up, and he's just going to fall. The barrel is gone, and Alphari, I've seen this movie before. The lane lead means nothing when he shows up. The team fights. Golden Guardians fight back from a deficit.
Yeah, they're going to get 2 kills there. The shutdown, plus they're getting the dragon, so pushing back TL's potential soul even further. That is a big deal here because Golden Guardians does have a very strong composition. We talked about how TL has to be able to snowball the game. Every mistake like this costs you much more when you are playing those early game focused comps, when you're playing these compositions that are going to struggle potentially later on here. And will they even lose the tower to boot? Like, that is a big gold swing.
That's really big. That's going to be a really that's like the play, right? If Gold Guardians come to win, this is why they made it happen. I gotta say, it was iconic leading the charge. Ooh. He's the one who found Tactical, but this is now a 2v1. Teleport is up for Ablaze. His W is there as well, as long as he can somehow get away from the stuns. All right, flash W, cast not in time. Good read by Armao. They had a ward, but AblazeOlive knows, okay, if I do it in time, we're there. Gets out in time.
Yeah, nicely done by AblazeOlive. As you said, pretty hard to criticize Armao for that one. He was actually pretty fast on the flask there. So let's see it one more time. They just see Tactical from multiple angles here. Straight Chime in, down. No hesitation. Chime with a great engage. Right on top, they take him down, and then CoreJJ is able to get out, but GP on the teleport here, despite the barrel for the move speed, there's just no escape. The flash is used early, but AblazeOlive is Wing behind you. You know, Tristana is coming in on top of you, so he ends up going down as well. That one I find hard to blame on Alphari. It feels more like paying for the sins of Tactical there. Perhaps there was a different ward he could have gone to, but the call was likely fight, and then at that point, instantly TP.
Nice by Core, dunk backwards, finds himself a Gragas to help, and Chime just has nowhere to go. The leap's not going to go far, and a kill picked up. A great setup by the Team Liquid support, and now it's on the push down the mid lane. Stixxay cannot dodge the Pierce, goes for a trade. That'll be decent damage. Tactical! Yeah, that's a lot of damage. He's going to stay alive. His shield bow kept him alive. Armao takes some damage. Stixxay out of summoners.
Yeah, actually pretty well played there, though, by Stixxay. Even the flash used by Armao. Jensen up here on the top side.
All right, Wukong going to try for the solo kill. Is down a level, and he's so done with that one. Out he goes.
Oh, I don't know if it's done, because TL wants to keep going, and they are fast here.
Good culling. He's landing almost every bullet. Armao's going to be there first for sure. Gale Force in Q. Assist not needed. Solo kill for Jensen. An overstep for Licorice for sure. Not his first of the game. Alphari able to walk away, get back to the base.
Yep, AblazeOlive though, trying to threaten in this side lane, pairing up with Iconic. They do push Alphari back. They're trying to get some tower damage here. Likely won't be able to kill it, but TL pushing on that top side, and someone will eventually have to answer Jensen here. Good news, though, for Golden Guardians is Stixxay, you know, getting online here. I can't say I like that AblazeOlive is actually has a cowl. Like, I don't think building MR makes any sense.
He wants Visage really badly, and like
the healing just doesn't really matter that much. I think it is really powerful with the missing health Q.
Yeah.
But it's like, to me, I just feel like Randuin's or something is so efficient.
Yeah, it becomes another math problem because it does affect shielding as of the season rework. So like, again, it's a math problem that I can't do the math on air. There is a world where the shield being 20% stronger is better than the armor of Randuin.
Okay.
I don't think that's true, to be clear.
Yeah, I
There's
think Randuin is insanely efficient,
Yes.
but I accept your reasoning, and we'll look into it more.
You're almost certainly right that Randuin is better. I just want to offer that there's a 5% chance that the math really works out this way. We're going to move on from here, of course. Gragas, yes, he provides magic damage, but there's no way he's really threatening Tahm Kench
Exactly.
in a realistic case. We've got a game to cast, though, and it's a minute 15 until the next dragon comes up. They both got one. We are going to be on a Cloud Soul game, and we'll see what happens. Because the gold lead is, by the way, back to 3.6K. We've kind of down slightly from the last major check-in. Salute to that, but Team Liquid probably the ones to retain map control.
Interesting. Serpent's Fang coming out as well here from Alphari as they're looking for core.
Okay, damage onto him. Gets the punch, gets the walkout, and Iconic burns his ulti and gets really nothing for it. CoreJJ healthy enough to still play the team fight. I like the Serpent's Fang, though, by the way, because, Tahm Kench, big shield.
Diana shield, the crash down shield as well from Rell.
Yeah,
I think
very
it makes
smart.
a lot of sense.
Really, really smart. Super happy to see Alphari go for that one. Big fan of that, so really intelligent. And speaking of Alphari, he's here. He's found an acquired taste as he's pushed Licorice away. And maybe we'll see Tahm Kench maybe answer back with his own, but that's a red buff stolen by Armao. The bottom jungle belongs to Team Liquid. Golden Guardian's not allowed to walk up. Maybe with AblazeOlive they can try, but the barrel's good yet again.
Yeah.
I think it's that half health.
I think Golden Guardians, they have no business even trying at this point. You're missing the Diana ultimate. You got poked out. Give it up. Push other lanes. Get something else. It's only the second dragon for TL. Who cares? It's not worth risking losing a team fight here and then losing Baron, because if that happens, the game is probably over. The reward is just not worth it.
Well, they've brought Licorice back in, waiting on the Cloud speed. As mid lane is going to be cut down, there are 3 cast minions left. And unless TL goes to wave clear, it can be a turret traded. They know Kalista's hitting the dragon, which means they can feel safe to take this 5-on-4 for a few moments. The dragon is still dying. The turret's being attacked. They're going to stay onto it. They will trade outer turret. Is there a team fight? Licorice finally walks down. Kalista's still hitting the dragon. And Golden Guardians do find a counterpunch. They do not contest Dragon. They go for mid lane. They get 500 gold into the pockets. And finally, Dragon will die. Everything that they expected to happen, in fact, it did. And Alphari gets some good damage on a Stixxay as well.
Yeah, they are very split up. They got to be careful because everyone is kind of split apart right now from Golden Guardians. If a fight does break out, they will be slow to react. But good play here from Golden Guardians overall. You take that tier 1 tower over the dragon, I think, at this point of the game. I don't think they would have even been able to actually win the fight had they gone for it around dragon. TL had better positioning. You would have had to walk through GP barrels. And so they get some gold in their pockets, and Iconic gets some time to actually get his ultimate back.
And Licorice going to spot Armao, knocked back with the cast, nearly solos the man, flashes in for round 2, stopwatch burn. Iconic going to have the pin cushion here as the top lane kill comes in, but AblazeOlive is going to fall down for the next. The Devour means nothing, and Alphari is in. Iconic is low, a rocket him to safety. There is a blast plant. Can they get out? They only blast back 1, and CoreJJ is in for the dunk over the top rope. Finds a 1-for-1 though, as still Licorice coming alive in the team fight. Has to watch for the next side though as CoreJJ is low. Rocket jump in, punch comes across, will die the explosive cast. The 80 carries coming alive here. 2 left alive on both sides. I cannot believe Golden Guardians thought that equally.
Yeah, that was crazy. Licorice sneaking back in to get a kill on Jensen, I believe, in the later part of that fight to actually equalize it. Otherwise, it looked like it was going to go heavily TL side. That was feeling like that was about to be the throw from Golden Guardians, this needless fight over nothing in the top side.
Yeah.
And if you die there, TL gets Baron for sure. So this was risky stuff from TL. The initial play here, Licorice going in, he does force out the stopwatch from Armao, trade of ultimates. But then, as we see AblazeOlive go in there, there's no ability to follow up. He goes a little bit too far. He tries to flash back over the wall. He didn't have time to get to the wall, then flash, and ends up failing the flash as a result. Iconic is going down. It's looking like, all right, this is a disaster. And where does Licorice come from? Yeah, he's just waiting in the brush until Jensen shows up, has no idea that he's there. Straight in, finishing off the mid laner. Alphari was actually looking on the wraparound play. He went down, I think, expecting that it would be a long chase for free kills, and As a result, the turnaround kill on Jensen, Stixxay goes forward, takes down Core, and it ends up being pretty good for Golden Guardians. I mean, we talked like 15 minutes ago, this was the lead. The lead has not expanded now. It actually has stagnated.
3.4.
The comp is coming online here as more and more items are coming through. When Tristana hits IE, and you know, AblazeOlive gets another armor item in there, I start getting really scared for Team Liquid.
Well, and I gotta say, in that last fight as well, Licorice did the most damage of anyone in that battle. This is the man who, like, killed himself at level 1, got hard camped and was down 30 CS?
Down 2 levels as
Out
well.
of lane, he's down 2 levels. And he solo killed the Gragas and finished off the Lucian, and in the process did the most damage of any player in the game in that fight. So well done to Licorice for playing a melee-only champion to the highest damage from behind. That's impressive. A lot of players would just be like, I'm 0-6, can't do anything. Sorry, guys, Gangplank's broken.
Okay, so now the math problem, I think, doesn't even matter, because AblazeOlive went for the
Stop
pieces of
somehow.
Spirit Visage, and
That's
then,
troll.
and then just didn't finish the
That's
Spirit
really
Visage.
troll.
So it's just bad.
Yeah.
Would have rather see the random for sure, and I think he may be going towards that now. Golden Guardians, though, setting up in the area. They don't need to feel pressure, and that's something I'm not sure if they're realizing right now. I think you can slow play it here as Golden Guardians. Wait for the IE. It's such a big deal.
Licorice still gets the stun, has to get the ulti, jumps to a minion first. The dunk gets him out of the range. The punch does a bit. Explosive cast puts him away. Licorice is alive, and CoreJJ, as well as Armao, are out of important cooldowns. That feels like a slightly positive trade here for Golden Guardians as GP ult drops as well.
One thing, TL now has TP advantage because they did get the TP off of AblazeOlive there. So, you know, you can send Jensen to a side lane if someone matches. He has the ability to join. Of course, Licorice will have his teleport shortly, so it is a very small window that TL would have, and they are looking to set up a pick potentially on AblazeOlive, but I think he will be tough to take down with just these two.
All right, Ablaze is in a 1v2. Does not have flash, but he has Iconic. They want to go. Nice body slam away. Gets away from the ulti. That might have been a kill or a forced zone use, but Armao had the reflexes to jump away. Stays alive, and no harm, no foul.
Yep, we can see Tactical here going for a pretty single target focused build. He has the Wit's End, did go Rage Blade, so it's not about the Hurricane here. It is going to be about, you know, focusing down those frontliners. Likely he is going to have AblazeOlive or Chime, one of them in his face, and really just trying to maximize DPS with that. The Grudge is through as well for Jensen, so he does have the Last Whisper in. He does have some Armor Pen to help dealing with this, and Randuin's complete now, IE complete. So I think this is kind of Golden Guardians' time. I really do feel like this is where it starts to swing pretty heavily in their favor. AblazeOlive will be incredibly hard to kill right now, and Stixxay has the damage to really blow up anyone except CoreJJ very quickly.
Sterek's done. Alphari on 3 full items, and Dragon is alive right now. Alphari, nice play, gets Stixxay to half HP by getting the Baron and hitting him, so that's going to be tough to deal with now. Red buff regen is only so much. It's not going to get him to full anytime soon. Mid lane under attack. Armao, yeah, and Stixxay's like, wait a second, I can't really do this one. And now mid lane's under a bit of fire. This could be a turret, actually. Okay, rocket jump and the dive get them okay. Able to clear the way, but here's the next Dragon. This is going to be 2 straight soloed by Tactical. I think very, very smart to put him there. With the Rage Blade, he's doing just tons of damage. That's going to drop no problem. And TL now on Dragon's Soul Point.
Yep. At the same time, though, Licorice pushing on top side, and they're looking for Jensen. They got to be careful, though, because Licorice is not with them.
Flash in by Core, gets Stixxay, but Rocket Jump is in time. Good engage by Chime, finds 3. Diana over the top as well. Big CC, but it's maybe the kill on a Diana. Burns his own, is still going to die. No, devoured and saved, and CoreJJ could be the mark, could be the target, gets the punch, should still die, buys some time, but drops. 5v4, is it enough now for Golden Guardians? New wave is in, can it be cleaned?
And Licorice still has Flash ulti, so if TL overcommit here, they could try to go in for another play, but multiple members on Golden Guardians are low. Are they going to try Baron?
Yeah.
I think they're going to save Licorice's turn for the Baron here. Look at him, he's actually down below the river, so if TL enter the river here, Chime and Licorice are in position to hard engage.
Chime got to kill this ward. They got to give the room for Licorice to find that fight. Barrels could be huge. Dive in, oh, AblazeOlive destroys himself, and Iconic might die to Baron. He's got 5 HP, Golden Guardians. It was teed up on a silver platter, but they played it like gold.
Yeah, I mean, why did the AblazeOlive go over the wall there? The Licorice cannot follow up. You need them to actually enter the river fully, and now Licorice in some trouble here, but will be able to clone away.
Okay, aggressive by Stixxay, but feels safe enough with Licorice still having flash ult. Knows he could turn any flash engage, and tried to bait it, didn't find it. And the game goes back to a 4,000 lead. Team Liquid trying their hardest to keep onto this one, and hey, and to be fair, they're getting really close to Dragon Soul. That has been going their way.
Absolutely. You know, Dragon Soul going to be nice there. Flat move speed, obviously very good. We can see this one more time. So, you know, Licorice was pushing on the top side. I'm not sure that Golden Guardians really needed to go for it. They try to look for Jensen here, and then Core is really the one who starts it out. Flash in onto Stixxay, but it's an easy rocket jump away. Chime re-engages. Had Licorice been there from the start, then maybe that fight looks very different, because I think the initial engage was actually good for Chime. But by the time the TV completes, TL has already kind of retreated. They've already backed up. Armao is low, but he has the Zonias, so you don't want to go for him. So they do just pick off Core. They move over towards Baron, but it's relatively low health totals here. And really what Golden Guardians wants to do is actually pull TL into this area so that Licorice can actually come from, you know, off your screen over the wall here. And this is why I don't really get this engage over the wall from AblazeOlive. It's like, no one can follow up on that.
Yeah.
You're very low on health. I recognize that he's getting hit by the Baron, and maybe it's just a little bit of feeling like, ah, crap, we gotta go. But in that case, it would be better to walk out towards the left side of the river and bait them further into where Licorice could go, then W in to follow up.
Yeah, it was like almost, ooh, what if we like rush Baron and I like zone the Gragas? If I land the knock-up, we can like burn it. But yeah, it was definitely too spread out. Ill-conceived is the exact right term for it, Azael. It was not quite on the same page, and AblazeOlive throws one away. Nearly a second. Iconic, of course, went down to about 30 health and probably underneath that. But we reset on the game. The game remains a 4,000 golden, but this time, Golden Guardians cannot give up the dragon. They have to get into the bottom river. Right now they have vision, but that's all going to time out. It's in 50 seconds time that they've got to own the bottom river.
And we'll see if they're going to be able to do it. Golden Guardians might be willing to trade for Baron. You know, that's one thing. But these plays almost never work out these days. It almost always results in one person from the team with control soloing the dragon.
Yep.
Well, 4 dissuade you from the Baron. So I don't like that as an answer. I do want to see if Golden Guardians can get set up around the dragon. And to their credit, it's their vision. Like this is their line of wards right around here in that river. They also have the pink ward below that. So Golden Guardians do seem a little bit more prepped. It is about that time to recall shortly, stock up on wards. You know, I want to see Stixxay sell that Doran's Blade, get a pink. Everyone should have pinks in the inventory because this is an extremely important fight. And having the vision early matters so much for actually denying Alphari his setup.
So right now, I want to see what the call is. I don't mind if TL cross maps. They say screw it. If we get top lane tier 2 and top inhibitor turret for like a dragon, like that's OW, right? That's a great play. If you want to just say screw it top side, I don't mind that at all. I think it's a good play. Right now, though, the recalls have come in. Armao's back in base. We saw Alphari take his walk down to shoving top a second ago. AblazeOlive finished his recall, so now he's got the Visage done. So there you go. Item 3 is in. I'm sure he'll finish Thornmail for the 4th. But as Licorice and Alphari square off in top lane, level difference now only 1. TP's up soon. They'll be fighting for Dragon.
Another big completion for TL. Tactical gets the LDR in, so he has some additional armor pen. So they have the ability to actually focus down this front line now, and we'll see how the execution is here. You know, you really want Licorice to be going in immediately with Iconic and Chime. If all 3 of those can hit at the same time, you CC up these marksmen as the Diana ult comes in, as the Wukong ult comes in, that's where you're really going to succeed. So we have to see that coordination, that timing. And Iconic trying to threaten on the side, but is spotted out.
Iconic is just going to walk away. Jensen, keep in mind, he's got slows, right? Has to burn the rocket belt to get away from barrels. Alphari now camping on a control ward. Could do so much damage. Going to be sidestepped. Not going to find the first blow. Has to wait for the barrels to come back in. But now Golden Guardians are down towards the river. AblazeOlive puts on the shield. Taking a lot of punishment, but he is the tank. Ult comes down for Alphari. Barrel's going to land. Chime is low. AblazeOlive the same. Dunk comes in. Stopwatch buys some time. Stixxay safe in the back lines. Here comes the dive in. Iconic is down, and so is the Rell. Armao going to stay alive, and Stixxay no longer has much of a team left around him. The one ranged champion on his team can have a hard time getting in, but maybe Licorice gets it done. Right now, not going to happen. Alphari has Asterix. He's very tanky. He's not easy to kill.
TP.
New barrel available, and Olive's going to be the playmaker now. 3v5. Barrel lands. Not going to go Stixxay. There goes Licorice. Wants Jensen going to look for it. Not going to find it just yet, and can't find the rest of the targets. Stixxay zoned out. Olive kills Armao. Takes the dragon as well. Stixxay in the 1v1. Can't quite find it. Jumps in for more. That's a tactical play, and he gets the kill away with it. Somehow Golden Guardians stay alive. There's the Devour. It's going to be even more. Can he kill CoreJJ? Doesn't sidestep the punch. Another Q comes in to heal, and Olive has a gigantic shield available. So somehow Golden Guardians stay alive. The mid laner, the rookie from Golden Guardians, you should be on your ballot. He's going for more. He's full health, 1v3. He's getting burned down in AblazeOlive.
He goes down in the AblazeOlive. It wasn't glory. His eyes got a little bit big on that play. But he got the dragon. They get the tier 2. This game's a real slobber knocker, freak.
The gold lead is still 4,000 to Zale. It can't move.
All right, here we go. One more time. I think Alphari played this fight really, really well, honestly. Controlling this brush, he was zoning them out for so much of this time. And it plays all of overestimating how tanky he was here, kind of gets sectioned off. Golden Guardians are pulled back into this fight, and this is where Alphari really does get a lot of work done. Chime is put incredibly well. Iconic is pushed out of the fight completely. Stixxay, though, was untouched for so much of this, and we should go back to live because we see that TL are actually on the Baron here. Will Golden Guardians be able to contest?
Chime sees it. They know what's going on, but can they get there in time? All, of course, still dead for
And
2
no TP.
seconds. No TP, as you mentioned. Licorice is around. Iconic's zoned out. Baron claimed. Can you even fight a 4v5? They're going to try. They go into Alphari. Shield is on. Orange is taken. Barely Iconic lives. Armao does have some really meaningful damage. You can see that the AP burst has been good, so he can get some priority targets, but Baron is claimed. That's plus gold, plus XP. 1 kill traded back.
It is Baron. Now we'll see what TL can do as far as the defense here.
Well, they
are
recalled an award.
down a member. And it looks like Golden Guardians are not going to hard commit to any sort of push. I would have been curious to see if they were willing to actually really shove out towards mid with Alphari down, who is kind of that main wave clear, but it doesn't look like they want to do it. They're just going to take away some jungle camps, continue scaling here. That death pretty costly from Blaze, and Licorice, you're caught.
Puts the ulti in for the knock-up and tries to dodge.
Oh!
Away! He does! He dodges the Gragas utility, but now he's got to live at a 1v2. Jumps over to the minions. He's trying to run, but this is now
They're
one
gonna lose
versus
mid lane and hit for this,
everyone.
though.
Okay, 1-for-1 traded. Recalls are in. Inhib turret is down. Inhibitor under fire. And Stixxay and Iconic should feel safe enough. You can rocket belt and rocket jump and get yourself away, maybe even outer space. Gold deficit has shrunk to 3,000 despite the Baron being picked up. The Red Bull Baron power plays negative gold for TL.
That is a heroic play from Licorice. 4 members go top, you kill one, and you buy time for that mid lane inhib to be taken during your opponent's Baron power play.
Yeah.
That is big time stuff from him. Really well played, and we're seeing this Wukong pay off late game. Really showing off the burst there. I mean,
Yep.
Jensen just got straight up popped.
Uh-huh.
And this is only a 2-item Wukong, right?
Yeah.
You know, like he's going up against people that have much more gold than he does.
But none of that's durability on Jensen, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Jensen's up a level. He has the Baron buff, the turn, the immediate ult comes through. The clone to the side was really nice, actually dodging the body slam in from Armao. The second activation of the ultimate, the Q comes through. He deletes Jensen, and yes, he does go down in the end, but it bought them so much on the map, and Stixxay is full build now. Like, this is getting so terrifying for TL. This is still a winnable game for them. I mean, if they win one fight, they could just end the game, but likewise, the same is true for Golden Guardians at this point. With your mid lane inhibitor down, spawn timers get so late, 37 minutes into the game, that it can all be down to one fight and the execution in that fight.
Bot lane under some damage. Nice job by Licorice. Gets rid of the barrels, earns 20 gold, but Alphari hits him back for the trouble, and now this turret is under a bit of fire. Poke coming around. 5v5 in the bottom lane. As mid will, of course, automatically push for Golden Guardians, thanks to the dead inhibitor. That said, it can't just be gold that you let someone grab afterwards, right? Take a late recall. Cool, we denied a wave from you, and take the money afterwards. It does mean, though, that mid pressure is on for the 6th dragon of the game. If TL get it, they're going to have Dragon Soul. If Golden Guardians get it, they're on Soul Point. And the gold lead, of course, goes back to 4K, as Alphari, just farming up the Storm, has one last item to replace.
This one always gets dicey because sometimes these teams will see, overcommit trying to get soul and lose the fight, right? And if that happens here, that is so dangerous. So, I honestly think that actually winning the fight is much more important than getting the soul, and I'd like to see the teams really try to keep that in mind. You want to have Armao posturing to turn if Golden Guardians is going to hard commit to a fight here, because if you are stuck on that dragon and you lose one member before you turn, that can be game ending. Golden Guardians definitely going to contest here. Alphari in that side brush again, has good positioning.
Okay, starting up on the dragon. Alphari spotted up by Diana Q. Smart play here. It's time to walk up. Chime wants in. AblazeOlive already has. Good ulti in for Gangplank. Separated now by Gragas.
Oh,
that's
nice.
Dragon Soul claimed. Well done by Team Liquid. They push off Golden Guardians. Mid can be an angle, but I don't know if you can take the base with that.
The only question is, do they get kind of punished here if you actually run up towards top lane or mid lane, try to take something more? I don't think they're going to be able to. They did spend the GP ult, the Gragas ult, as well as that Lucian calling. Really nicely done, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, TL just never gave an opportunity for Golden Guardians to actually get that fight. Using those 3 zoning ultimates, pushing them back while Tactical focused down that dragon. That was really clean execution from TL. They get the soul, and they don't even have to worry about the fight because they never gave Golden Guardians a way in.
So AblazeOlive gonna get some farm. Push in on that side of the map. Infinity Edge is on the way for Jensen. That'll be a very good power play for auto-attacking the front line. Iconic gets his Demonic Embrace. We've got Void Staff in for Armao. So he's definitely quite scary. There we go, i.e. done for Jensen. So yeah, some very nice items have come through. We are at Dead Man's already for CoreJJ, going towards the next piece as we are just stacking up Thorn Mails on all the supports. Pretty easy one to go for third since they land pretty reliable, hard CC. So it's a good one to grab for later on in the game. But yeah, we're 40 minutes in. It is certainly still TL favored, right? Yep. They've got more gold. They've got that Dragon Soul, which is like really valuable. Trying to outrun a Wukong is useful. Lucian pops R and runs. Yeah, you can probably get away from that Cyclone.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've seen the burst damage, right? Now that Black Cleaver is done for Licorice, if he's given the time, he will solo kill Jensen, unless he can get out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why it's all down to execution. It's basically can TL kite back and actually avoid the initial engage. Because yes, you know, the Cloud Soul is incredibly valuable, and if Jensen doesn't get locked down at the start of the fight, you know, the move speed from the Cloud Soul with that ultimate plus the slowdown from Grudge, like, you will land all the shots of your culling, you will roast people. But if you get caught by that Rell, if you get caught by the Wukong, it doesn't matter. You're going to die instantaneously. There's no QSS, there's no cleanse on him, there's no GA to actually keep him safe. So he's got to position well, and TL have to control space with their ultimates as they did around that Dragon fight.
Alphari takes one attack, doesn't die. Damage on a Licorice though. Cask has to go to the side, has the flash to stay alive. Nice pickup by Armao. Sure, a couple of ultimates got burned, but Licorice flashless is a lot less threatening. That said, Baron is up in 3 seconds, and now we have to see if the flash or the 2 ults mean more. Golden Guardians instantly go to Baron.
Yeah, they're going to start it up, and Licorice will look for a TP flank here. That ward that they're standing on right now could be used if they commit in.
Armao has flash. Will it be a smite fight? Can he make it happen? When's the battle going to start? When's it going to start? 2.6 thousand. Iconic going to let it reset. They don't take the battle. They don't go for the big hit. And it's going to go all the way back up to full HP. Did not want to smite against them.
Get off the Baron.
TL still pushing CoreJJ forward. Not going to get much from AblazeOlive. And Iconic down to 2/3 from the poke so far. When do we find the engage? Wards will go down, but a money and XP earned. Golden Guardians still trying to take some of the vision, but there's a ward inside the pit. TL still knows what's going on.
Yeah, I just don't see this Baron take working. I mean, Iconic is kind of getting chipped down. They're back onto it now, but Licorice is sectioned off, and Chime is trying to go for a long wraparound, but it's going to take him a long time to even get there.
Well, at least AblazeOlive can take damage forever. Iconic want to walk right back in.
They
I don't think they know. When does Chime get it? Goes in on a 2. Is it enough with Titanic coming across the rest? CoreJJ, it's going to be a 1-for-1. Diana's down, but so is Sett. Tactical dives into the Stixxay. The flash misses, and Team Liquid clean house. Golden Guardians have 1 left alive. Licorice is on his way out. Kills a barrel. He's running, but he's slowed. And that man will try to deal some damage, but he is down. Team Liquid take the kills. The Bud Light Ace and the TP into the mid lane. Tactical dove the back line, and he near solo killed Stixxay. Team Liquid, it was a hard fight, but they had control the whole time. They run it down the mid lane. They will knock down the Nexus turrets, and that's going to be GG. Team Liquid taking down Golden Guardians.
Nicely done by TL. A big win for them there. Really outplaying in the team fight. In that final moment there, I mean, Licorice couldn't even get in, right? And we saw how valuable it was that they had actually forced his flash earlier. If he's instantly flashing over the wall in for the ultimate, you know, on that initial engage from Chime, maybe that fight looks very different. He didn't even get his ultimate off in that play. Yeah. Team Liquid marked him, they kept him out, they forced his summoner in the earlier fight. And honestly, they positioned very well in a lot of these fights. You know, yes, they did lose track of where Chime was, but because they had the follow-up marked, there wasn't that follow-through of the Diana ultimate, of the Wukong ultimate, and that's really where the damage is going to come from. So despite the fact that Golden Guardians did survive, did get themselves into a good spot, you know, TL played really intelligently in those last couple team fights. The fight to get them soul, they completely controlled space, denied Golden Guardians' ability to enter, and again, in that final fight, same thing happens. Chime comes over the wall. All of a sudden, GP ult between you and the team. There's an ultimate coming through from Gragas to disengage. Licorice is not able to enter because he's being marked. it was just really well played by them in those team fights.
Yeah, and every game, it's lane kingdom for Alphari, lane kingdom for Alphari, lane kingdom for Alphari. Yes, level 1 was clearly one-sided, but even without that, he's been beating everyone in lane. That has still remained true when he gets the help. That lane is a cakewalk. The rest of the game, a bit cleaner. They've had some good Dragon setups, right? Never really let Golden Guardians in on that, so that was well played. But Golden Guardians played team fights really well.
Yep.
So some positive points, but they are still a game and a half behind FlyQuest for a playoff spot. Now we are stepping away for a break. But on the other side, we'll have Dash and Alphari in our Verizon post-game interview.